Yo,
Yo,
this is the winning shot family, but it's also the squad family. So I'm just proud to be here with the guys again. Shout out to everybody who tapped in with us. This is the winning shot podcast. What do y'all do this? I don't know how y'all intro this. Y'all intro this. I'll come in on the back end. Y'all go ahead.
yo, what's going on, guys? Man, this is the squad. This is episode 2 officially. If you tuned in for episode 1, you saw that me and Hundo we did a squad episode just on the NBA with the playoffs rolling around. But now with the post draft, we're entering into a new NFL season. So I wanted to bring my boy John on to talk
Yes, sir.
NFL. Listen, this is still the winning shot, but we wanted to make content to focus on gamifying your takes. So it's not just about facts. This is about your opinions too. So we want you to chime in with what your takes are as we go through the episode. And as always, go to the winning shot, like, share, and subscribe. Don't leave us hanging with the winning shot because we just want to use this as an extension to have more content just for you. So, fellas, listen. We talked about the NFL and our draft recap in the past winning shot episode, but I wanted to bring y'all guys on to talk about some of the underrated talent that's happening in the NFL this upcoming season. And so, as always, I wanted to start with building a squad. So this is the rules of the game. I want you to pick a quarterback, a running back, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and an underrated defensive player. The rules is they have to be underrated. We haven't defined underrated. I want y'all to tell me why they're underrated and why they fit your squad. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes. I got my squad ready to go, but we're gonna just debate and talk about these underrated players heading into this next season.
Can we go by position?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Say no more. I like this. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, my squad gonna be the best. I got a good people in mind for some positions. Okay, yeah, he's gonna be a dog. All right, say no more. Now, quick question. Are rookies included in this underrated? Are we including the people?
It's your list.
Anybody?
It's your list.
Okay, now I know we're gonna have some debates of who's underrated and who's not now, because somebody can be like, I'm like, hold on, that nigga's not underrated. So we gonna see. All right. Say no more. Y'all started off then. Let's get straight to it.
All right, so let's start with quarterback.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna go with Malik Willis. He's the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins.
That's your pick?
That's your pick.
For sure. I feel like he can be underrated. Like, he's one of those players that at Tennessee, we called him a bust. But every time he came into Green Bay, to play, he actually was talented. And so I think Jeff Hafley is going to experiment with Malik Willis this year. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be the guy moving forward, but I definitely think he can pop. So we'll see.
Okay.
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't expect that to be the first pick.
Hey, no.
With the first pick in the draft, Malik
Willis.
They're just underrated players.
You right. What we said, underrated, like underrated good, or just underrated, like they just underrated?
Man.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that. Like, what that means.
You need to go back and look at your list.
No. That's his squad. That's his squad, Hundo. That's his squad.
My squad.
All right.
Like, this man Hundo gonna say Patrick Mahomes, Malik Neighbors. Like, no.
Say no more. Okay. For me, underrated quarterback. I gotta go with my guy. Number one of our pick out of Clemson, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor, personally, for me, he's had flashes of goodness, right? I'm not gonna say greatness because that's one other word. He had flashes of goodness, right? And so some people in the past couple of years have even called him a bust because he didn't meet the expectations of what they thought number one pick should be, right? But I also think that Trevor is a very good quarterback in this league. I think he's top 2 in his division easily. And so I'm gonna take Trevor, man. I'm gonna take Trevor to lead my offense.
Hundo, go ahead.
Yeah, we are underrated pick.
We're gonna have some controversy on here. We're shaking things up. But now I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. He's a winner. A lot of people don't say he's top 5. I think he's a winner, man. He's shown that he can win at any level.
Hold on. We gotta put a caveat in this.
How?
He won the Super Bowl. He can't be underrated.
Oh, nah,
bro.
You'll be talking about Jalen Hurts, bro.
Bruh, he won Super Bowl, bro. He can't be underrated.
bro.
Right.
Bro, people would definitely be talking trash about this man like he not like that, bro.
He's in the argument for top 5. How he gonna be underrated?
Yeah,
I feel
bro.
like his contract means he's rated well.
Fact.
Nah, we not gonna go off of contracts because everybody been on this man's head talking about some this year coming up. It's gonna be make or break. It's gonna be make or break for Jalen Hurts this year. So how is he not underrated? Like I said, he's a winner, bro.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
You don't decide a make or break year for a quarterback if they're not underrated.
Okay. That's fair.
Everybody's been saying it's a make or break year for him.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, I'll give you Jalen, but don't come with no other Super Bowl champion.
You need to get on Collin. That's who you need to get on. Call me. Get on Collin for that bogus first pick.
I mean, at least it was underrated.
Underrated. That's not underrated. That's trash.
That's trash. Is crazy.
That's trash. We were just talking about the Dolphins last week.
Yeah,
about how sorry they about to be.
They are gonna be sorry.
And we gonna take Malik Willis first?
Hey,
come on, dog. What
that brother said he underrated.
Underrated, yeah. Trash.
All right.
Hey. All right, so let's transition to wide receivers.
Okay.
All right, so for me, I got Drake London with the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like, he's a sneaky good receiver. Like, nobody really be talking about him in terms of the, like, creme de la creme, like the JSN category. But I mean, I feel like he's a solid wide receiver that definitely can have a breakout year this year. Obviously, they got a regime change with Tua. I don't know how Tua's game translates from Miami to Atlanta, but, I trust that Drake London's going to come and perform. He had 900 yards last season, but the year before that, he had 1,200 yards. So I think that he can continue to maintain that, 1,000-ish yards trajectory. And I feel like he can be a solid underrated pick.
Okay. Well, y'all know I'm going next because this man, for me personally, don't get enough respect in the league. They say my quarterback Lamar Jackson has no weapons. They say he doesn't have a solid number one receiver. But this young man I'm about to name has been to back-to-back Pro Bowls and had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in Baltimore. Homegrown. I mean, to me, the guy is clearly wide receiver one from the numbers he continues to put up year after year, the things he does on the field. Mr. Zay Flowers, man, come on, man. Come on down, brother. Listen, I know people say, oh, he's too short. He's this, he's that. He's a baller, bro. I mean, since he got this is going to be his fourth year in the league this year. And since he's been to Baltimore, he's had 2,000-yard receiving seasons. And the first season, he had like over 800. So, I mean, he's led the wide receiver room in Baltimore since he's been there as a rookie. And he continues to dominate. I mean, no one in the league has locked him up, quote unquote, right? And so for me, if I got to give me a receiver that's underrated, it got to be Zay Flowers.
I know.
I'm gonna go with Wan'Dale Robinson with the Giants. Formerly with the Giants. He's not on the Giants no more. But I'm gonna go with Wan'Dale. I like his game. He can get open. Sneaky, number 2 / number 3 type wide receiver. Got over 1,000 yards last year. I think he had over 800 the year before. I think he's gonna ball with the Titans, man. They just got Tate, pair him with him. Hey, let's see what he do.
Okay.
All right. So now we got wide receiver 2.
Okay.
And I'm gonna actually go on my team. I'm gonna pick Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce just got paid. Like Alec Pierce has had flashes. Like we expected Michael Pittman to be, wide receiver 1, but obviously he got traded to the Steelers, and so now we paid him as, wide receiver 1 now, Alec Pierce. But I mean, when you watch him, like he has a lot of big moments and flashy plays. It's really going to come down to quarterback for us. But I feel like if he can produce, like he's going to be one of those guys that, we look at and say, oh man, this guy has 1,000 yards. Because I feel like he's a 1,000-yard capable player. And I trust Chris Ballard made the right decision. Do I think he's like overpaid? Yes. But I think in terms of like how we view him as NFL fans, I definitely think he's still underrated.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. For my second pick, man, my home dog, James K, he gonna like this pick. I'm going with Ladd McConkey.
Okay.
Wide receiver, man. Wide receiver. I think he's wide receiver 1 in LA because Quentin Johnson sucks. So I think he's clearly wide receiver one in LA. I mean, since he came in as a rookie, he's led that team in the wide receiver room. They drafted him because of their lack of production out of Quentin Johnson, and he came in and immediately produced. And I think he's going to continue to do so. He's a very solid, technically sound receiver. Runs really good routes, gets open, catches the ball when it's thrown to him. I mean, does his job. And so we need that out here on my particular squad. So I'm taking Ladd McConkey, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the AFC South, and I saw this dude cook the Broncos, so I'm gonna go with Parker Washington from the Jaguars. I like his game. I like what I saw from him at the wide receiver position against our defense, one of the top defenses, one of the top secondaries in the NFL. So I'm going with Parker Washington.
That's solid. That's underrated.
Yeah,
that's underrated right there. Thank you for playing the game correctly.
Hey, man, we got Jalen Hurts some weapons out here.
Jalen Hurts, crazy.
All right, fellas, let's go running back. So for me, my running back is going to be David Montgomery from the Lions. He got traded, I believe, to the Houston Texans. Yeah. Everybody was talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, especially being up here, and nobody really talked about David Montgomery. But, he gets in the end zone. And I feel like with Houston next year, there's questions we'll talk about later in the show with CJ Stroud. And so I think, the onus is going to be put on the running game. They have Woody Marks, but I think obviously David Montgomery is going to be the running back one. And I feel like, he is seeking to prove himself because I feel like a lot of people kind of doubted him with the trade with Houston to Detroit to Houston. But I feel like he can have a splash year. Obviously, they got Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. And I feel like that core of weapons, he definitely can get in the end zone and, make some plays.
Okay. This is tough. Underrated running back. I'm going to go. I had two options. So I'm going to go with the first one that came to my mind. I'm going to go Breece Hall, running back for the New York Jets. I think Breece is a very underrated running back. I think, but he's super solid out of the backfield. He catches out of the backfield. He does what he needs to do. I think his downfall, he's just been in New York. I mean, I think that's been his downfall. He's asked to be released and traded, but that request has not been met for him. I mean, he's wanted to be paid, just like a top running back should be. However, New York is not honoring that request. And I think his numbers speak to what he's asking for in regards to pay and in regards to the way he just kind of does what he does on the field and within that offense. I think there's a reason that they won't get rid of him, right? Because they see the production, they see who he is. Now he has had a few injuries, but we're talking about underrated running backs. I'm taking Breece for my squad.
Okay. I'm gonna stay in the AFC again, but this time we're gonna go up north, and we're gonna take Chase Brown from the Bengals. I like his ability to catch the ball out the backfield. Close to 1,000 yards the past 2 seasons. Can play all 3 downs. I think he gets overlooked in his offense with T. Higgins and Jamar and Joe Burrow, but having a solid running back that can catch the ball out the backfield is a plus. If they can get their offensive line right, people are definitely gonna know about him.
All right, solid pick.
Okay, solid.
All right, tight end. So I was betwixt and between on this one. I was gonna go Brock Bowers, but I feel like Brock is not underrated. I feel like he definitely is one of the top tight ends. So I'm gonna actually go with the former Raven Isaiah Likely.
I
think it's gonna be interesting what he looks like with the Giants this year. I feel like I don't know who the other tight end in New York is, but I feel like he has that chance to slide into number one. Obviously at Baltimore, he was kind of in tandem with Mark Andrews, but now he's kind of going to be a feature guy at tight end. And when, looking at Harbaugh's past offenses, it's definitely focusing on the run and establishing the run. And I think that Jackson Dart has a relief now with Isaiah Likely to pair with Malik Neighbors. So I'm curious to know what he does. I think he can definitely pop, and I think he wants to ascend into that tight end one mentality and try to be up in the echelon with the George Kittles, Trey McBride's, Brock Bowers, and I think he's capable of doing so.
Hey, that's good. That was a pick Isaiah Likely. So then we got to revamp my strategy. That's a great pick as an underrated tight end. Let me see. Who I want here. You know what? I'm gonna just do this. Speaking off of the Isaiah Likely tree, he got a lot of comparisons to this young man. I'm going with a rookie. I'm going back to New York, going to the Jets, man. Going to Mr. Kenyon Sadiq. Obviously had a lot of hype coming out of him, coming out of Oregon, but he ain't played NFL down yet. So I think he fits into that underrated category because right now it's just all noise. However, 6'3", running a 4.4, 4.3 speed. I mean, you can't really beat that right now. He's gonna be a great blocker for my team. Look, obviously catch the ball. We can put him out at X if we need to. He's a little bit taller than both my receivers, so we needed somebody out there, a big body guy. I'm across the middle. Give Trevor a great little target to throw to. You're going Mr. Kenyon Sadiq, man.
All right. I'm gonna go with my ops, man. My divisional ops, and we're gonna go with Rondé Gatson out of the Chargers. Only was a rookie last year, but I like what I saw from him. His ability to stretch the field. They got a lot of weapons down there, and I think he'll have another breakout year. He had 600 some yards last year, only 3 touchdowns. So hopefully he could be more of a red zone threat this year. But I like what I saw from him last year.
Okay.
All right, fellas, we're gonna go to the other side of the ball. We got one defensive player. This is gonna be any position, any level of defense. So for me, underrated, I'm actually gonna go with Travis Hunter this season. Travis Hunter coming off an injury. Like people haven't been talking about him as much when he came into the league, but I feel like this is where Travis is going to really thrive the most. They're going to be putting him strictly at cornerback with a couple of packages and at wide receiver, but his back is against the wall really because I feel like what they traded up with the Browns to get it hasn't equaled the production on the field, and I feel like Travis has heard the noise, and so I think he comes back with a special year. I think if he just focuses on cornerback, I think he can have one of those breakout kind of seasons. So I'm curious to see what they do.
Okay. Underrated. Let's see. Where wanna go? I could go here. Let me see how y'all feel about this one. I'm gonna say underrated. Nah, here they talk about him pretty good. I'm gonna stay in that same vein of corner. I'm coming home, man. We're coming back to Carolina. I'm going Mr. J.C. Horn. I think that J.C. is a guy. What you think? What y'all think? What you think? I just feel like
he's a top 5
corner. Do we really say he's a top 5 corner though?
Bro, he's in the conversation, bro, and he one of the highest paid.
Yeah, but just because you highest paid don't mean you're one of the top 5 corners in the league.
Yeah, I wouldn't say top 5, but I think he's.
You got Surtain, you got Stingley. Who else? I feel like he's in the mix.
I mean, I feel like Jalen Johnson with the Bears, maybe Christian Gonzalez with New England.
Christian Gonzalez for sure.
Okay, that's 4.
Trent McDuffie,
5, he's right there.
Master Trent McDuffie.
Right, J.C. Horn right there with them.
I'm not saying that he's not, but I feel like he's a little bit underrated. That's all I'm trying. Like, I feel like the way. Okay, I switch it then. That's cool. I can switch that.
John, like, now you want to define underrated.
Yeah, now you want to define underrated. That's fine. Hunter.
No. I mean, we didn't. Hey, if I can convince you out your pick, you're not underrated.
No, it's all good. It's all good because I still don't think Jalen Hurts underrated. But I'm gonna let you have that. It's all good. We're going back to Baltimore. I'm going Nate Wiggins. I think that Nate Wiggins. I've been watching tape. The boy. I mean, obviously I watch the games too. I'm a Ravens fan, but the boy's a dog. I mean, he can stay with any receiver, run the 4.2. I mean, Buddy got crazy length at 6'1". I think 6'1", 6'2". I mean, Buddy's footwork immaculate in my personal opinion. Buddy's already has 3 career interceptions, or maybe 4, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna go Nate then. Let's go Nate Wiggins, another Clemson guy.
Okay. I don't even know if this was about to be an underrated pick, so y'all let me know. But I'm gonna go with my guy.
I already know about you, bogus. Go ahead.
I don't even know how to say his name. Hufanga though.
Hufanga, linebacker.
I like the safety.
Nah, the safety.
Oh, safety.
The safety for the Broncos. Yeah. I just like the way he come down and be hitting, bro. Like,
yeah,
that dude's a dog, bro.
Yeah, he like top.
I'm gonna take Hufanga, bro. I like the way he come down and be hitting, bro. I love that.
Okay, say no more. Not bad.
I feel like they're solid pieces. So defend your squad. Like, why is your squad gonna win? Why is your squad the best squad?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, we about to smack Hundo squad. Oh my gosh, this man got Jalen. It's about to get real bad.
Bro, I got a winner on my team.
You got one winner on your team.
You need to be smacking Malik Willis. That's who you need to smack.
Oh, we gonna get Malik too. It's about to get real bad for both of y'all teams. Actually, Jalen Hurts. Who's your receivers again?
We about to put up 80. We about to put up 81 on Collin team.
We good, bro.
Hey, hold on. Who's your receivers again, Hundo?
That boy Malik Willis about to throw 5 picks.
Hey, he definitely throwing Nate some picks. I guarantee it. He definitely throwing Nate some picks.
Malik's solid, bro. Malik's solid.
With a team around him, he's solid. You said he was solid with the Packers.
We focus on the players.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I think Malik, I'm glad he got paid. Let me start by saying that. I'm glad he got paid. I'm upset that Brady had to get paid in Miami. I've said this since he signed in Miami. I'm upset he got paid in Miami because it's a dumpster fire out there in Miami right now. So I think that this year, unfortunately for him, will not be a good year statistically. It will not be a good year.
You had Parker Washington. Who else on the other side? Hundo?
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, it's rap for both of them. It's real quiet on the home front. I promise you.
Hey, John, Travis, you're good. What?
It's okay. I promise. Nah.
It sounds good. It's a reason why they stick him on defense specifically. Because Parker Washington is him.
Then he said running back Chase Brown. I said, thank you.
Yeah, y'all sweet. That man Chase Brown is tough.
He all right. He's solid. He not like he like top 20.
Let's see what he did versus the Ravens.
Huh?
Let's see what he did versus the Ravens.
Pull up the numbers. Go ahead. Please.
I don't know what he did. I don't know if I would have put up these numbers or not.
Yeah. Go pull up the numbers. You said Jamar Chase?
See what he did.
Sure. He got the wrong Chase.
He had 15 for 78, 7 catches for 35 yards in a win. He only played y'all. He played y'all twice. He had 13 for 53 and 7 for 37 the first game.
Those sound like terrible numbers to me, personally.
That ain't terrible numbers, bro. Them solid numbers, bro.
Those are solid numbers for running back,
bro. Vershaw, bro. Those are solid numbers, bro.
7 for 35
catches, receiving.
Okay. What about his rushing? He's a running back.
He had 13 for 53, averaging 4 yards per carry. And then he had 15 for 78, averaging 5 yards per carry, 5.8 yards per carry. That's good. That's pretty solid numbers, bro. And he catching the ball out the backfield.
Now, pull up Derrick Henry numbers against the Bengals, Steven.
That's not the same, bro. We're not talking about the Bengals defense, bro.
I just want to have a comparison. That's all. I was trying to see you talk about, Anyways, like I said, it's sweet for Hundo's squad. We're good. We're good. And then when it comes to Collin squad, I mean, first of all, Malik Willis, we'll start there. Oh my gosh. Nate, I mean, you can jog, actually. You didn't got to run your 4-2, bro. You didn't got to run 4-2. Yeah. Who's your receivers again?
Drake London, Alec Pierce.
I like Drake London. Alec Pierce, yeah, it's gonna be real quiet for him. But I like Drake. Drake's a good receiver. I give you Drake. We're gonna have some good battles with Drake, but Alec, it's gonna be quiet for him. And then running back, you had now tight end. I respect Likely. Likely's a dog. We're gonna have to put some work in against Likely. He gonna get open. He gonna get his. Running back, you had who you had again? Running back. I like David. I like David too. Now I'm intrigued to see. I haven't seen David without Jameer since he was in Chicago. So I want to see how he does now in Houston. You know, kind of being that feature back again because don't they still have Nick Chubb and Mixon as well?
Yeah, but I don't know if Mixon coming back.
Nick is on the roster. I think it's just Woody Marks, and they got like this guy named Jawan Jordan. But I don't think.
Okay, so David would be clear running back one in Houston then.
Yeah,
and he hasn't had that ever in his career, honestly. So this would be a good opportunity to see how he handles that as running back one. I think he's done and he's shown he plays really well in a system or in a two running back system. So to not have that now, to pretty much he'll be a feature back. Let's see how he does against that. He's a bowling ball for sure. So we're going to have to lock in. Make sure we do our squats and lift all the weights we can that week for sure. Because he's one of those ones that's gonna try to run you over for sure. But he also got some speed to him as well. So I like that. I'm still taking my squad though. I think I curated the best squad. I got Trevor. I got Zay and Ladd. I mean, yeah, I don't know who your corners is, but tell me eat their Wheaties because it's up. We ain't doing no slowing down. We're running all game for sure. Mr. Brees Hall also not gonna play with you at the backfield either, running or catching the ball. Like I said, we got Nate on the other side, and then I got Mr. Sadiq. Now he's the wild card because I mean he ain't played in the NFL yet. But 4.3 speed at 6'3". I mean, I'm taking it.
Yeah, Hundo squad. I'm sleep. It's quiet because I don't trust Jalen Hurts at all. He's probably the best player on your squad. Parker Washington. I mean, he had solid moments, but I'm good. I feel like the only thing though, like I like Hundo's picks with the defense with Hufanga because I definitely think he's a hard hitter. And yeah, he came from the 49ers, I believe. And he did his entire career. John's quite nice. Only thing is Keon, like he's still a rookie. So I don't know what he's gonna come into the league looking like. We've seen plenty of examples of people having crazy combines and crazy measurables and not really panning out to be what they think. And he's with the Jets. And I feel like the other thing too, like even with Brees Hall, I feel like Brees Hall is a sneaky pick because he's definitely. I think he was a franchise tag. I don't think he's got paid yet, right?
He hasn't got paid yet for sure.
Yeah, so I definitely think he has a lot to prove. But I think there's a couple seasons where he had some stuff still on the table. Like I think he could have been better. Yeah. But obviously, it's kind of hard to evaluate when you're with the Jets because it's facts. Obviously, Zay and Ladd gonna bring you speed, and I think Ladd's one of the top route runners in the league, honestly. But I trust my squad. I trust Drake to get you 1,000, and Alex is a breakout player. Like I know, like when you look at him, you're not like, oh my gosh, this is wide receiver one. But there is a lot of times where we had plays and Alex got behind the safeties. So I trust his breakout speed. Obviously, the one weakness on my team is quarterback. I confused underrated. I guess we should have had that conversation more in depth in the chat. But I mean, Malik had breakout moments with Green Bay. Like we'll see if it was a Matt LaFleur thing, if that can translate with Jeff Hafley. But I think if he just is a game manager, I feel like he could be right there in the conversation with the Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy. So I'm confident that he can get the players the ball, and we gonna take over. So
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with a game manager that we don't talk about enough. You have to have somebody to manage. That's the part we got to talk about. We talk about Brock Purdy. We talk about Sam Darnold. They have receivers to throw the ball to, running backs to, out the backfield. You go to Miami as Malik Willis to what?
That's fair. And they traded away Waddle. So
exactly. Tyreek is gone. Waddle's not there. I don't know who their running back one is. I don't know who their wide receivers are. I think they drafted somebody like in the second or third round. Who's going to come in and start them? Huh?
They got A-Chain at running back.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Sorry, my fault, A-Chain. So you got A-Chain.
That's it.
And that's it. And the O-line's abysmal. Yeah, they drafted Caden Proctor. They talking moving him to guard. Yeah, it's gonna be a long year for Malik Willis, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I can see
So
that. Sure.
yeah, it's just not going. It's not going to work the way they think it's going to work. I'm gonna tell you that
Word.
right now. And defensively, they gave up everybody. I mean, Chubb is gone. I don't know who's on that defense. I mean, at one time they had a pretty good defense on paper, but now everybody's gone.
Then they
So
got
they got rid of Mike Minka again, didn't he?
yeah. I
Is
forgot
he in
what
New
name.
York?
Yeah, he on the Jets.
He on the Jets. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it clearly looks like it's a tank year. So
It's
hopefully,
definitely a tank year. So, which is that's what I'm saying. I feel bad for Malik because now they're about to draft another quarterback.
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah,
Like you said, at least he got paid.
at least he got paid. That's what I'm saying. At least he got his bread for 1 year. Take your money for this year and go about your business.
yeah. So moving along, like we talked about underrated players, but like y'all give me one underrated team that you could look forward to going into the season of thinking you think can have a pop.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I thought I'd never say this, but the Raiders low-key got a squad. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I know it's the AFC West. However, I mean, just obviously they drafted Mendoza. He got a rookie quarterback, but they signed Tyler Linderbaum. They spent crazy bread on other positions out there. Um, Defensively, they still got Max. They drafted somebody else. I think that was a good pickup for them on defensive side of the ball. They also got N'Kobe Dean. They got the linebacker from Houston, I believe. Um, so I mean, the boys got a nice little squad there in Vegas, man. So if I had to pick an underrated team for this year that could be from worst to not first, but worst to like they could surprise some teams and maybe come third in their division, I'm picking the Raiders, bro.
Okay, I do.
I like that pick, John. I know. I was one of the early ones on the Raiders.
You
Before
was,
the
you
season
was.
really started.
He
So
was.
I like that pick. But I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. I think I'm gonna go Cowboys. A lot of talk around that team yet again. They got George Pickens coming back. Dak's still there. They drafted Caleb Downs. I love that pick.
Love it. Shout out to the mock.
So I'm gonna go Cowboys. I think that's still a competable division. Don't know what's gonna happen in Philly if they decide to move on from AJ Brown. That could change how it looks. If Jalen Hurts doesn't win the games that he needs to win, they could be right there in the mix.
Yeah. Crazy enough, I was gonna say there. I'm gonna actually go with the Giants. I think
I
the
was going to say
Giants
the Giants too. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Giants could potentially have a dominant defense. They had a lot of key roster additions, especially in free agency and obviously in the draft. Like you go, not only get a surefire guy with Mauga from Miami, but you also get Arbel Reese. And I feel like, that kind of puts your cornerstones on both sides because I think both of them could actually play a long time. Question is really going to be like, how is that rotation going to look defensively, especially on the defensive line? You let go of Dexter Lawrence, so it looks like it's going to be a pass rush by committee because you have Thibodeau, you have Burns, and now you have Abdul Carter and Reese now. So I'm curious to know how many of them stay, if any of them get traded going into the season. But I think the biggest thing for me is just a culture change. Like I feel like the Giants have been circulating culture and has been really a turnstile. And now you really got your guy because I feel like if Harbaugh's going to do anything, he's going to change the culture because the stuff that flew before in the Giants, organization, I feel like he has the final say so, and so he's going to try to at least emulate what he did at Baltimore. So I trust them to actually make the improvement.
That's a good pick, Colin. I definitely think New York has a super sneaky squad and definitely underrated because in that division, like you said, people expect Philly to run away with it. But honestly, we also got to talk about the Commanders a little bit too now because I know, Jalen fell off because of the injury last year, but he's coming back healthy this year. They drafted Sonny Styles. So, I mean, defensively, defense is going to be tough. Dan Quinn going to make sure of that for sure. And the offensively, they still got Terry McLaurin. They might be trading for Ayuk. I know it's been a while since they talked about it, and Ayuk ain't really said nothing obviously either. But he's time in San Fran, I think is definitely done. So if he goes anywhere, I think I can see him going to Washington because once again, him and Jaden have played together before at Arizona State. So if they do add anybody, but they still got I don't know who their running back is actually. I hope it ain't Austin Eckler still. That's not gonna be good. But
Or Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson, he's still in Washington?
No, he was on the 49ers.
He's on the 49ers. But who's the running back in Washington?
Rashad White.
Rashad White. Dang, he's in Washington now?
Yeah,
That's what's up. Okay. That's a good move for them. So yeah, I think they could be another sneaky team in that division that could make some things work. But yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good pickup for them. I think they're a super sneaky team as well. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at them.
So I woke up this morning and I like hopped on ESPN and I saw that I saw that they were talking about CJ Stroud. They did an article and they were talking about how it was a do or die year for him because he's the next quarterback to get that big contract extension. So I kind of wanted to do that same idea with this next section of the squad because I feel like there's a lot of players where we can say is do or die.
Yeah.
So I guess like I'm gonna just name some players, and Hunter, I know you got to go, but like we're gonna do rapid fire, and we're just gonna talk about what the expectations are this coming season, and if it's do or die year for them. All right, so let's start with Tua. Tua obviously transitions from the Dolphins to Atlanta, but Tua's had a big injury history. What do y'all feel like with Tua's career? Is it do or die?
Definitely, and I think it's time to die. And not physically, however, in a do or die sense. I mean, this is a career for him, bro. I mean, he played terribly in Miami. Now he comes to Atlanta, and it's literally you play decent to save your career, or you're going back to Hawaii, buddy. So, I mean, nobody in the league has faith in him. People have been telling him to retire for like 2 or 3 years now with all these concussions and stuff. I'm glad he wasn't anybody underrated quarterback because I would have been like, your team's super cooked. Everybody the dream has to end at some point, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I think that Tua's time is about up, bro, in the league. I mean, you played for what, 5 years maybe? I think Miami paid him. They didn't give him a contract in Miami. So I mean, you got a little bit of money. I'd say go ahead and retire gracefully, right before they consider you super trash. They already consider you're not good. Nobody's in Atlanta right now, hooping and hollering and saying, thank the Lord that Tua's here. They still know they really don't know who the quarterback is going to be because now both of them are injury prone. And
Michael Penix.
Michael Penix is injury prone, and you signed Tua, who's also injury prone. 2 left-handed quarterbacks. I guess that was the thing that brought Tua in, but it's not looking good for Atlanta. I mean, you got Drake, you got Bijan, but you have no quarterback. So they're gonna be in the quarterback sweepstakes next year. This is definitely do or die. This is it. This is your last stop on the train, Tua. So you better make it work, buddy.
Yeah, I definitely think it's do or die for him, but I think he's in a good situation because, like you said, John, Penix is hurt. He's coming off an injury. Yes, Tua has an injury history, but I mean, he has some weapons around him. Like you said, you got Bijan, you got Drake, you got Kyle Pitts. So hopefully he can, stay healthy and just spread the ball around. I guess that's what they're hoping. They're in a winnable division yet again. So as long as he can, like I said, stay healthy and stay on the field, they'll have a shot.
Just Deshaun Watson.
Do or die. And he's just been getting grace, honestly, because they paid him guaranteed money. If they hadn't paid him all of his fully contract guaranteed, it would have been cut, Deshaun. So I know there's been speculation of who's going to start in Cleveland. I'm going to tell you right now, and break any shadows of doubt. Deshaun will start this year because he has guaranteed money on that contract. So he's going to be quarterback 1. But if he does not play well, he'll be losing his job immediately to Shador. So, this definitely do or die for him. Now, I can see the benefit to him is that, unlike Tua, he'll get one more opportunity. He'll get one more opportunity from another team. Tua, to talk about the weapons, you had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle for years and didn't do anything. So I don't know if the weapons, quote unquote, is going to be enough to save him in Atlanta. Deshaun, he'll get one more opportunity. He'll get one more. Somebody give him one last chance. Um, I don't know who that team's gonna be right now because 27 is a loaded draft class for quarterbacks. But somebody give him one last chance. I think Cleveland's gonna be done with him after this year. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's definitely do or die for D Watt. Yeah, I think he's gonna get an opportunity to start, like John was saying. But after this, it might be wraps depending on how he looks. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel like the tricky thing, like John said, was with the contract. You paid him all that money, so you have to kind of like get that zero sum where you have to get something out of it. Um, but I just don't know what he's like as a quarterback anymore. Um, I feel like they have a decent roster. They're actually doing well in the draft. So, but the crazy thing is just like he's not even the most popular quarterback in his quarterback room. So I'm curious to know how the fans, respond to him being on the field. And the question is going to be with Cleveland's organization, like, is it going to be based on production and who can actually has the best potential, or is it going to be based on influence and who's like, the most popular? I guess heading into the season.
I think that they'll. Yeah, go ahead. We'll leave it
What
there.
you said, Joe?
I was gonna say, I think in Cleveland, I mean, as we know, they ain't looking to win nothing. I think it would be nice for them too, but they got a new head coach, Tom Munkin, who's an offensive-minded guy out of Baltimore, and formerly Georgia before that. So I mean, they'll be looking for something with Deshaun, but they're also gonna he can have a super short leash. The moment he start messing up, they on his head. They be calling for Shador to start. I mean, I think that's the way they're set up right now. So yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hey, before y'all go, I'm about to head out. Y'all
Yes,
boys
sir. Happy birthday, Hundo. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that for him, he's still young. This is what year three for him, going year three for him,
Yeah.
and he's been in Arizona. So for him, it works out. All that works out in his favor. One of him being young, and two him being in Arizona with no quarterback. Prayerfully, he'll say, "Please let me go. Let me go somewhere else so I can, have an opportunity to play with a good quarterback." He's coming from Ohio State where he had, dominance and he knew nothing but greatness. And so they come to Arizona. Collar was there, but he wasn't there, right? I think they went with Jacoby Brissett for a little while. I mean, he's just had mediocrity, honestly, in the offense to deal with, and come from Ohio State where he knew nothing but greatness. He's had to adjust, and it's been tough for him, I think, to do that. Like I said, prayerfully, the next they're probably gonna pick up his fifth-year option. I think that they will do that after this season. I don't. They still don't have a quarterback. That's the problem. So he's gonna go through another year of y'all wanting me to put up great numbers, but giving me nothing, nobody to throw me the ball. So I would say it's not do or die time for him for sure because he's too young for that. But it's do or die time for the organization. I'll switch that.
No, that's a fact. I agree with you on that. I feel like he was kind of like a slave to the expectations. People thought that he was going to have the Ohio State season and translate right over to the NFL. And I feel like he had, he's been having a slump, but I feel like there's definitely been moments where he's, flashed.
Yep.
So I definitely give him that credit. I feel like it's going to be interesting to see now with Jeremiah Love how that opens up the offense for him even more. Because obviously, I assume, if Jeremiah pops, they're going to bring the safety down, load the box, and so now that is going to free him. And you have Trey McBride, so you have a plethora of weapons. So it's not like the defense is just focusing on him anymore. So I feel like this is a do or die year for him, just in terms of what we're expecting out of Marvin Harrison. Is he going to be a wide receiver one in the top echelon, or if he's just going to be a Christian Kirk, Parker Washington type of guy? That's just going to be a wide receiver two for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I can see that for sure, brother.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. This is not necessarily like he's like bad or good, but Jared Goff.
Yeah, I definitely think it's do or die time for Jared. I think he turned his whole career around after he left LA. I mean, he wasn't terrible in LA, but he definitely was not Detroit Jared Goff in LA, which I think led to that trade with him and Matthew Stafford. I think that trade worked out to the benefit of, but I think that's the first trade I've seen in a while that it was a win-win, honestly. And I say that because I mean Detroit, they were good with Matthew Stafford. Obviously, well, they weren't good, but
Yeah, he was good.
he was good, right? So he took his goodness and went to LA and made them even better, won a Super Bowl. And then Jarrett came back, they were able to get picks, cup all that, create a team around the quarterback, and Jarrett led them to the playoffs, right? Crazy numbers, super accurate. It wasn't he was still a game manager. However, I mean, Buddy's super solid in Detroit. So obviously he got paid in Detroit, all that, and none of that happens without him playing super solid football. So yeah, man, I don't think it's do or die time for him. He'll play out the rest of this contract, and then they'll start to reevaluate, what they want to do at quarterback next. I do think that he's not going to be the end all be all for them. He'll probably end his career probably in Detroit, but they'll definitely have another quarterback for the next probably 3 years.
Yeah, I actually do think it's a do or die here for him. Not in terms of getting cut, but I think in terms of the Lions making a decision because you have the Super Bowl window is slowly dwindling, and you're starting to pay all these guys. Obviously, you got to pay uh
Gibbs.
the not just Gibbs, but you got to pay Penei Sewell. I'm blanking on the defensive end from Michigan.
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson,
Hutchinson.
paying him. Then you got to make some decisions on Jamison Williams.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
and you already have guys paid like Amon-Ra St. Brown. So the question is going to be like when you make and these guys aren't just getting paid; they're going to be getting paid top of the line.
Nah,
So with that, obviously the roster is going to dwindle, and you're going to have some clear holes. And I don't know if Jared Goff is the type of quarterback to take you over the hump. I think he's just the type to get you there. And I feel like that's going to be frustrating for Lions fans, the same way what it is for Eagles fans right now, where it's like, okay, I think we need to make a move, go get a guy. And I think if the guy's out there, I can definitely see them making a trade or trying to, get cheaper at quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. I just saw that they did already pay Jameson, so they'll have Jameson and Amara. They do have to pay Gibbs for sure. They paid Penei Sewell. So yeah, like I said, that's why I mentioned. I think that they'll let him finish out this contract. But if he doesn't show promise in regards to taking them further in the playoffs, then they went to the NFC Championship a few years back. If he doesn't get over that hump, they're different. Like, yeah, appreciate the services, but we need that. We need that guy that's going to take us there. Like you said, the window's only going to last so long, especially for a city like Detroit, right? So eventually they're going to be like, it's time for us to move into something else.
Yeah. All right. Dak Prescott.
Woo! Dak Prescott. I mean, here's the thing about Dak, bro, for me personally. Dak's not terrible. But the issue for Dak always comes in the playoffs. Always. Every stinking time. But also, the owner of this team is Jerry Jones. That's another thing. Jerry Jones just has not been a winner since the 90s. And so he's kind of been cursed for some odd reason. I think that Dak got to be, 32, 33 now?
Yeah,
Bare minimum. So, I mean, he just signed a big contract not too long ago. He was the highest paid quarterback in the league, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, you don't pay that kind of money and don't have faith in him. So, I mean, do or die? No, for me personally, because you just paid him all that money. I think if that was the case, you probably would have, started the tank process or started looking for another quarterback. And they haven't done that. So, I do think because of the cap hit, though, his window's limited now. It's gonna be like, all right, brother, we pay all this bread and we ain't touched the second round of playoffs since. So we need to make some progress here. And you can't say you don't have weapons because you got two of the best receivers in the league. You know what I'm saying? You got Ferguson, I have to believe it, tight end. You got running backs, and they may get another one. Defense is looking up. They just drafted Downs and stuff. So it's like we're giving you the help that you're asking for. So yeah, I think his leash is short, but I don't think it's do or die this year. Now, if he doesn't do anything this year, next year, do or die for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with you, bro. I feel like now I'm gonna say this is a hot take, and we'll transition to that. But I feel like the Cowboys could have the ingredients for an all-time defense. I'm just curious to know, we can't blame weapons anymore. Obviously, he came into the league with one of the top O-lines ever. And now you have Pickens, you have CD Lamb, and you have a stacked defense. Brian Schottenheimer actually surprised me. I think he's definitely a decent coach. They just can't have a stinker this year. If it's a miss the playoffs type of year, I
Yeah.
definitely think they're moving on from that. Just because I think they've invested too much in their roster in order to have him instead of like to have a mediocre quarterback. But I just feel like Jerry's the type of guy not to make any immediate because Jerry doesn't want to be terrible. I feel like
Yeah.
Jerry is okay being mediocre, but not having a quarterback is not the answer for Jerry. So I mean, we could talk like I don't know who's going to be up there. Arch, Dante, if they're ever in that mediocre category, maybe making a big splash.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know what that looks like in the near future because there's no quarterbacks right now who are available to trade for that.
Facts. That's true, bro. I agree with that. Now you said all-time defense. Did you mean offense? Or did you mean defense? You said all-time defense. Did you mean offense or you mean
Yeah.
defense?
Because I'm just saying they replaced. You got rid of Michael Parsons, but now you have Rashawn Gary, Quentin Williams. Overshown is nice, and then people were saying that Caleb's floor is all pro.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
So even if he's just his floor, he's going to be an elite safety, and I
Yeah.
feel like they've filled in some holes. So like, on every level, I think they have a decent player. So I think
Yeah.
if it comes together, they could have one of the top defenses in the league.
Did they have 2 first-round picks this year, or just the one with Caleb?
Yeah, they had two. They went with obviously Caleb, and then they got the guy from UCF, Marshawn Nealon, I think.
Got you. Is he a defensive guy too, right?
Yeah, he's a
The
defensive.
edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he pops too,
Yeah.
you stack
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's
I'm not mad at that.
let's round it off talking about who we started with. So CJ Stroud.
Yeah, Mr. CJ Stroud, bro. My thing with CJ, bro, he had a sophomore slump, then he had a junior slump. I'm like, yo, like that rookie year, you could have told me CJ wouldn't have been like top 5 quarterbacks in the league going into now year 4, right? But he came in. I mean, his team hasn't lost any eliteness, but because of him, Houston was bad last year. The defense, all time, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the league last year. Arguably, between them and Denver, I mean, their defenses were insane. I mean, D'Amico had them boys cooking all cylinders, bro. Real talk. And CJ was the problem. And so it sucks because it's like, bro, you were number 2 overall pick behind Bryce, and you were stinking it up last year. Now, to his defense, his receivers were injured. I will give him that. Nico got hurt. Tank got hurt again. But in spite of that, he still found a way to play terribly. He found a way to play bad. And some stuff I was watching, I was like, yo, CJ, what the heck are you doing? That's terrible ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget you not having receivers. You're not even throwing good balls. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I will say offensive line definitely needs some help and needs some upgrades. So I wasn't paying attention this year to Houston, so I don't know if they were able to upgrade their offensive line. I hope they do if they have not done so yet, because he definitely needs that. I do or die time, or what's next for CJ. I think they drafted him too high for them to get rid of him. I think they're still going to pick up the 50 option. They already paid Will Anderson, so they pick up the 50 option on CJ. They will try to negotiate a contract, but it's not going to be top dollar for sure. Not the way he's playing. So that bodes well for Houston. But CJ got to turn it around, bro. He got to turn it around. He has to. He just has to. Houston's too good of a team for him to be bad.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I do think it's a do or die year for him though, because you can't waste all-time defenses.
You can't. They don't grow on trees, bro.
Bro, and it was a shame, like you said, like all CJ had to do was be a game manager, and
bro,
he couldn't do that.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah, and so I feel like moving forward, like if he has 2 stinkers back to back, and even like 2 years ago, like there were some questions around CJ. So I feel like if it's like 3 years where we're questioning, I don't think they pay him. I don't necessarily think they move on for him, but it's going to be one of those franchise tag situations until they can get in position to go get another quarterback. But the writing on the wall, I feel like that Patriots game was a stinker.
Yeah.
And with our division, I feel like the time is now, because it's slowly dwindling. If Tennessee pops, obviously that's another team that you have to worry about.
Facts.
Jacksonville was in the playoffs last year. So it's like, and
Mhm.
obviously with us, like, I
Yeah.
think we still got some time to spare. But, if we find the quarterback, our roster is still decent. So the Texans, it wasn't too long ago that y'all were fourth in the division consistently.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I don't think they want to be there. So I definitely think they'll make some rapid changes in order to fix that.
They have to, bro. They have to. Like I said, that defense is crazy. It's crazy, and all the pieces for them on offense will come back healthy. Like you said, they just signed. They just traded for Montgomery at running back. So now I got a featured running back. You had Mixon and Chubb last year, but now you got a younger guy, featured guy. TJ, you gotta be it, bro. You have to. You literally have to. Like, people have been calling for y'all to win the division every year since you've been there. Now you got to do more. You know what I'm saying? Like in the playoffs, for real. You got to get there and produce in the playoffs. Um, and it can't be, a lackluster season for you. It just
Yeah.
can't be. Not with the team y'all got. So
Yeah.
you got to lock in.
Yeah. So we done the do or die. We built our squad. So we had the portion of our show now where we do hot takes. So I need you to no boundaries.
Okay.
Give me some of your hot takes going into this NFL season.
All right. Hot takes. I'm gonna start with the NFC first. Um, to your point and to Hundo's point earlier, man, I think Dallas is actually gonna make the playoffs this year and win a playoff game. I believe that. Like you mentioned, I had forgot about Quentin with the Quinn Williams trade last year from New York. That's a great pickup. They drafted Caleb Downs. Offensively, I think they're still really good on the offensive side of the ball. So I think they're going to turn some heads this year in that division. I think Philly obviously has the target on their back, but Dallas has never backed down from Philly, no matter who's been on that team. I don't think they do it this year either. So I think that they'll actually take a game with Philly this year. And another hot take: Dallas wins the NFC East this year. And if you know me, I ain't never been on Dallas side. I think Dallas surprises the division and wins the NFC East this year. I know there's a new coach in New York. Yeah, not that will be a hot take as well. Um, Philly, we know whatever happens with AJ Brown, that's gonna make a lot of noise and change some things around. Philly's still a great team. Don't get me wrong, but I think Dallas shocks the NFL world and wins the NFC East. That's my NFC hot take. That's my hot take for them. And like I said, they win a playoff game this year as well. To bare minimum, go to the divisional round in the playoffs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that. That's my hot take for the NFC this year. AFC. hmm. Hmm. AFC. I'm gonna think on the AFC hot take. I'm trying to think of one. I think that and that happened last year, though, so it's not really too much. That's not too hot of a take. Yeah, I'm gonna think on that. I'm gonna let you go. I gave you my NFC one.
All right. So for me, um, I think the Jets are going to be bad.
Okay.
I think the Dolphins have, you know, depending on what they do this season, I think they're going to be bad.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals are going to be bad. And my hot take, I think the Steelers are going to be up there.
Up
We
there
have
like
seen,
good.
no, in terms of bad
Oh.
in the draft. I
Okay.
think this is the first time we're going to see in a while the Steelers have a high pick.
Yeah.
Just a lot of dysfunction is still happening, even
Yeah.
with the Aaron Rodgers fiasco. Um, their defense, like their pride and joy, they don't have their motivator anymore, and I don't think those players respect Mike McCarthy as much as they do Mike Tomlin. And
Mhm.
I think just the sheer coaching and motivating ability won the Steelers a lot of games. We're just gonna
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like even I think 2 years ago when they played y'all in the playoffs, that defense just was a shell of itself. And I feel like, those same guys are back and they're getting older. Offensively, they have some weapons with DK and Jeremy Bernard and Michael Pittman, but I still think that they have all the ingredients culture wise to be a really bad team. So I won't say it's going to be 2 wins, but I could definitely see it being 6 or 7. So I think they're going to be right there. NFC. I don't want to say this, but I think Minnesota will be second, if not first, in their division this season. I think Kyler steps up, and I think that the flashes with Arizona you're going to see with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, and I think that with everybody's backs against the wall, coaching wise, quarterback wise, I think they come together in order to, you know, win some games. And I trust Brian Flores with that defense to continue another year of being a dominant defense.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of questions with the Lions. I think Caleb kind of pulls back in terms of the high octane offense with Ben Johnson. And I think even with Green Bay, I think it's a big deal losing Jeff Hadley because that defense was really constructed by him. So I'm curious to know what they look like defensively going forward. And we know there's been a lot of injury history with Jordan Love, so I don't know how durable he's going to be throughout the season. So I think Minnesota gets back into that, first to second, wrestle with the division.
Okay. AFC hot take. I think the Patriots go back down. Yeah, I think the Patriots go back down, bro. I think the Bills go ahead and regain that dominance with their hiring of Joe Brady in that division. I think that the Patriots, they're not gonna be sorry, but I can honestly see them falling to third in the division. I can see it. I can see it falling to third. Obviously they still have Christian Gonzalez, but I think that they were exposed in the Super Bowl last year against the Seattle Seahawks. And honestly, bro, they weren't that good of a team. I'm gonna keep it a band. Like they were cool. They beat the Ravens last year, but I don't think they winning the games that they did last year. So I'm gonna say that's my hot take. The Patriots go back down to not being sorry, but I think they'll be middle of the pack in the AFC this year versus them being on top.
Another hot take for me, I think New Orleans makes playoffs this year.
Whoa. Now that's hot. That's piping hot.
I think New Orleans makes playoffs.
That's piping hot. Wow.
I think they're going to be like contenders, but I think they sneak in. I think Tyler Shuck, I don't necessarily think he's elite, but I think he can get the job done. I trust Kellen Moore and his offenses. And they've made a lot of sneaky picks that is like, okay, this roster is still okay. It's decent. And I think there's going to be a pullback with the NFC South. Like, I don't really buy the Carolina Panthers as much as everybody else. I feel like they have some Charlotte Hornets in them where they're still kind of young and finding their way, but they can easily go back to being terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know culture-wise what it looks like without Mike Evans. Like, you now have Chris Godwin, you have talent, and you got Ruben Bain coming in, but all those guys are still young. I think Mike Evans gave Baker Mayfield a solid presence on the outside that was consistent. And with Todd Bowles, he's not an offensive guy. So I don't know what their offense looks like going forward. And I feel like with Atlanta, I just don't buy Atlanta. Like, we weren't fans of Tua. There was some points in the season when Michael Penix looked shaky. Like, you got talent with Bijan and Drake London, but you don't have your top defensive player. I mean, you got AJ Terrell. AJ Terrell, but you lost what's his name to the whole situation with Ricky Jackson. He was your all-around guy. So now you got a hole at your edge position. So I'm curious to know like what they look like going forward. And I feel like nobody's talking about New Orleans, but we know they're going to have a last place or close to last place schedule. And I think we look up and it's like, okay, like the Saints have 6 wins, 7 wins, and they go on 2 more wins, they could be right there in contention for playoffs.
Okay, that's hot. That's a hot take. I don't know if I got to take that hot. Dang. All right, I got one for you.
All right.
The Raiders will not be last in the division this year.
Who's going to be last?
Chargers.
Wow.
Chargers will be last in the division this year. And James, I'm sorry in advance, brother. But I'll say this, bro. I mean, the Broncos, I don't think they're gonna fall off. I think the Chiefs will be back. The Raiders are gonna surprise people, bro. I think they're gonna win a game or two in that division. It's gonna be like, whoa, the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Crazy. The Raiders, stole one from Denver. Crazy. You mess around, go 3-3 in the division, you can't be last. So somebody got to drop, and if I got to choose a team to drop in that division, it's gonna be LA. To me, I still don't trust Jay Herbo fully. I like Ladd. I don't trust Quentin Johnston at all. I like the running back. I do like they drafted Omarion Hampton last year. I like him. But defensively, they lost Jesse Minter, who was the guy for them. He's in Baltimore now, right? He created that defense. They had mediocre pieces on defense. He just made them look great. He's not there no more. So the defense is going to struggle, I think. So I'm going to say the Raiders don't come last. They come third. I'm not saying they'll jump to first or nothing like crazy like that. But they won't be last this year. They won't be last this year.
All right. That's some hot takes. All right, so we're gonna wrap up the episode. We're gonna do rapid fire questions. So I'm gonna ask you questions. You just give me the first answer that comes to your mind.
Say no more.
All right. Who's the MVP next season?
Ooh. MVP this season, Lamar.
Who's the biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment in the league?
Yeah.
Ooh. Josh Allen.
Ooh. Okay, so MVP for me. I'm gonna go Matt Stafford. Biggest disappointment is gonna be Joe Burrow for me. Who is the biggest sleeper quarterback this season?
Biggest sleeper quarterback this season. This is a super hot take. Okay. Sleeper quarterback. Now nobody. I know the comments gonna be on fire on this one. Geno Smith. The sneakiest quarterback is gonna be Geno Smith, back with the New York Jets. Nobody in the league got faith in New York. Nobody in the media, nobody in the comments got faith in New York. And I'm not even saying I got faith in New York, but Geno has shown he can be solid in the right system. He has weapons. He had weapons in New York, bro. You got Garrett Wilson. They just drafted Sadiq. They got Brees. The O-line is the biggest concern, obviously. Biggest concern is O-line. Defensively, they drafted some guys. They got Minka back there. So, I mean, yeah, no sauce no more. But, I mean, something may shake out. And the sneakiest quarterback who can get you something like, whoa, the Jets won a game by 1 point. What happened? Geno let them on a crazy drive and didn't mess up that last drive and got him. Sneaky quarterback, I'm going to say Geno, bro. I know that's going to be that's a hot take. I know. But, yeah.
Wow. I think for me, like, obviously I said Malik Willis for me in terms of underrated. I'm going to give you another sleeper quarterback. Kirk Cousins.
Where's he at?
He's with the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
Clint Kubiak said that he's going to try to, start Kirk and have Mendoza sit so he can learn the NFL. And I feel like Kirk, he's one of those quarterbacks where I just think that he can win games that nobody thought that they were going to win. Like, I think Atlanta had a lot more dysfunction going on, but I feel like with Mendoza's the type of quarterback, I don't think he's going to be jealous about being number two. I think he's cool sitting behind him learning. And I think Kirk can be the veteran to like actually getting them kind of like the Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes connection. I'm not saying Mendoza's Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just saying that kind of like transition. Because Alex Smith was still winning games even before he got hurt and before they put Mahomes in. So I think he can be one of those kind of quarterbacks.
Okay.
Who's the first coach to get fired next season?
First coach to get fired next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's the coach from the Bengals. I forgot his name. Zach Taylor. Yeah, our whole division got new coaches this year, except the Bengals. I don't think that the Bengals still have enough to get over the Baltimore hump, which is they're going to be their biggest problem. So that's going to cause them to, while Joe Burrow may have a good season again, they're going to say, well, what's the problem? And we know who's going to go if it's between Joe and Zach Taylor. Same way it was between Lamar and John. Yeah, Zach's out of there. So I'm going to say Zach Taylor's the first coach to get fired next year. He'll not be for sure.
Unfortunately, and yet surprisingly, I think it's going to be between the two black coaches in the league. I think it's either going to be Aaron Glenn, and surprisingly, I think it might be Todd Bowles. Because if Tampa Bay pulls back and they're not the same team they were last season or the year before, and if Baker has a slump, I think they definitely make the transition quickly.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
Yeah. Who is going to win Coach of the Year?
Ooh, Coach of the Year. Dang. That's a tough one. Coach of the Year.
You don't got faith in your guy?
I was gonna say Jesse, but I didn't want to be biased. I didn't want to be biased to Jesse, but I think Jesse gonna come in and have us rocking, bro. I have crazy faith in Jesse. I gotta do a whole podcast about the Ravens and they draft and everything about that. But like, I got crazy faith in Jesse. The guys seem to be fired up about Jesse. Zay Flowers and Lamar both said they like Jesse, like the way he runs the practices and the things are going well for them right now. I want to say Jesse. So I'm just going to say Jesse. That's easy. I think it's an easy out for me. But I'm going to say Jesse. I'm going to say Jesse's Coach of the Year.
Okay. For me, like I said, actually, I feel like Harbaugh should get some votes, but because he's kind of like, everybody knows he's a good coach, I don't know if he'd actually win it. But I think either between him or Kellen Moore.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do two more.
Say more.
Who's the Super Bowl matchup? And who's the Super Bowl winner?
Super Bowl winner's Baltimore. I'm going to give you that right now. Super Bowl matchup, Baltimore versus... Baltimore versus... I'm going to say... It's tough. I'm going to just say Baltimore versus Detroit. In Super Bowl. Hot take.
Baltimore versus Detroit. I'm going to go Bills Rams.
Okay.
I think 1-7 gets it done in the AFC. But I actually have the Rams winning it all. I trust Sean McVay. I think the Seahawks slightly pull back. But I feel like the Rams have enough to make it. I think they should have made it last year. Now, obviously, things happen. I think Seahawks were a better team overall, but they lost Kenneth Walker. Curious to know what they're going to do with Shaheed, and I feel like the Rams, even with the Ty Simpson pick, I feel like this is going to be the perfect transition for Matt Stafford to go out and them start over with a new quarterback.
We got to talk about that. But I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that for the winning shot side.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So last question is, who's going to have the number one pick this next year?
Number one pick next year will be the New York Jets. Yeah. I know I had Geno as a sleeper, but I didn't say how many games he'll win as a sleeper quarterback. I said sleeper like he could sneak and win a game. But I don't think by any shape, way, form of imagination, I think that the Jets will be good this year. Now they're gonna be fighting with their own team in their division because the Dolphins are also gonna be super sorry. So it's gonna be between the Jets and the Dolphins for that number one pick. And I think that the Jets, because like Collin said, unfortunately, the black man, Mr. Glenn, probably gonna be out of there. Probably throughout the season. He's probably not gonna last the whole season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think the Jets go 1, but Miami's number 2, and it's close.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually go with the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's gonna be Cardinals 1, Jets 2, and I think it's gonna be Miami 3. Yeah, because I just like honestly, I can see Arizona building something, but I just feel like their division is gonna be tough. I see them losing versus every team in that division. So yeah, I think next season is where they go get their quarterback, and now you have Marvin Harrison Jr., Jeremiah Love, and maybe Dante Moore. I don't know if they're who's gonna be out there. So yeah.
Yeah. Steelers have a top 5 pick as well.
For sure. Yeah, like I said, I think it's gonna get ugly real soon.
Yeah.
All right, man. You got anything else you can talk about?
Nah, bro. Nah, man. I think it's a great episode, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely, man. That's a wrap for another explosive edition of the squad. We went from squad building to like locating some underrated gems, and we even had some hot takes. But it means nothing if we don't have your comments and your opinions. We want to interact with you, and you tell us, who do you think is underrated coming into this next season? We've dissected every angle of this upcoming season. We want to hear your takes. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop us a 5-star review, leave a comment, share it with a friend. And we'll be posting reels throughout. So interact with us on IG, interact with us on TikTok, and obviously our home and YouTube. We'll have more episodes coming your way, and comment on what episodes you think we should do moving forward, because we just want to make this about opinions and fan debate. So appreciate you having us, or appreciate you coming on, John, and we'll definitely hit some more winning shot content coming soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace.